Good morning, Instagram Metal Graphics here. Final update of the bumper builds for this 2002 Ford F-250. Got the front bumpers all back from the powder coat, as well as the rear, all wired in. Lights are wired in. The outboard driving lights are wired to a separate switch. The inboard lights are wired to the factory fog light switch, which is also the headlight switch. The winch lives in pretty tight conditions, but you can still access everything just fine. You can see the free spool lever here, and then over here you pull this cover up and you can see where the controller would plug in. You can see the gap between the control box and the winch, about 1/8 of an inch down in there. It's pretty tight, but it fits. The winch has been spooled out all the way. It was hooked to a stationary anchor, and the truck was winched in neutral with a slight braking parking brake applied, so it's nice and tight around that drum. The last 4 coils of the drum have been painted red, giving the user or the operator indication that he's running out of. You need to have at least 2 or 3 at least 4 wraps is my comfortable on the drum before you start winching. I got a couple more things on order for him, some shackles, basically a recovery bag. We also did some, we modified, well, we changed out the shocks. Went with Bilstein shocks all the way around. The shocks he had on there were leaking. They were actually the wrong size. I did a compression and collapse and extended measurement using the forklift on this rig. While the bumpers were off being powder coated, I went ahead and kept working on the rig. So the powder coat on this is what they call BK176. It's a really, really nice finish. It really reminds me of a Harley case, that wrinkle. And it matches his running boards. And that was the whole idea. So I'm pretty happy with the results. Also replaced all the lugs. They were all pretty ratty and really hard to get on and off. Moving towards the rear, you can see the Bilstein shocks back there as well. The rear bumper, there's your step. Your LED lights are tied into the reverse circuit, so they come in as soon as you go. They come on as soon as you go into reverse. All the hardware that I use is stainless steel, all of it. Here's your 7-way pin. These license plate lights are nice and bright. They're LED as well. They're held in with stainless steel as well, just like the license plate, the backup camera. This latch is an improvement over what Move sends out. This is all stainless construction, and it has a secondary lock. So right now you can't lift it. If you push this down, you can lift it up and disengage it. I do have a stainless steel lock that I put on there, and I fabbed up some tabs. It's welded on the back side. You can't see it. I couldn't get in there and weld up here, but you can see it's tacked, and then the whole back side is welded, and then this is welded as well. But anyway, that'll just keep honest people honest, and it's rated at 1,540 pounds, I believe. This latch. This latch did pretty good. It's also tied into this new hitch that I repaired and extended. Little overall shop, brand new spare tire and wheel to match his other ones. It's got a nice light bar up there, which I wired into a different switch for him. It's got a nice and vertical fit. Here's the other step. And so the gentleman that owns this truck is a pretty tall, big guy, so he'll be accessing the camper shell. If he doesn't want to go through the trouble of unlocking that and swinging the spare tire open, he can just access readily available items that he needs by opening this side. So that's a hinged window, and this side's fixed, obviously. So anyway, I'm pretty happy. So no one can really open up the tailgate or open up the camper shell door unless this tire carrier is swung open. So he no longer has to keep it locked back there if he doesn't want to, because the whole tire carrier assembly will keep it locked and secure. That's pretty much it. I'll show you the headlights real quick. So this switch right here, which will light up the rear light bar, LED light bar. This one here lights up the outboard lights, and we'll step over here and show you those. There. Nice and bright. Not that impressive in daylight, but at night, man, it's bright. And then the factory fog lights, the inboard lights, the way it works is on these Fords is you turn this headlight on and then you pull out. Your little lamp just came on right there, indicating that the fog lights are on. So now you're going to have all 4 lights on. Sorry, I have to have the ignition on. Sorry about that. Let's go back to that. There you go. Those are tied into the ignition switch. There you go. There you go. And that's pretty much it, Instagram. Thanks for following along. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on any parts. That stainless steel latch was purchased through JW Winco, and I give you a part number if you're interested. They're real similar to like McMaster car. Anyway, that's all we got for you, Instagram. Thank you.